Hi there, this is Erica DELSIGNORE, and I'm the founder of Daily Meet. And today you are watching live my Great Minds, Great marketing series, where I interview experts from around the world and find out what they are doing to increase their success in business through their marketing. And as an added bonus, we find out a lot about what they do. And today I have someone who is just an incredible inspiration. I have Shawna Pelton, and she is a transformational expert. I've known Shawna for many, many years. It has to be at least 5 to 7 years or something. Is that right, Shawna?
I think maybe 5, yeah.
Well, I want to welcome you to the Great Minds, Great Marketing interview series. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. Now, you have really brought what some people might call as a woo-woo type of expertise into really taking it to helping people be more successful in their life, whether that's their personal life or their business life. And I've spoken with a few people in your field on here, and everyone seems to have their own niche within this field. And so you really work on the mindset of people so far, and you help them overcome their roadblocks so that they can achieve more. And what I really love is in your write-up that you did for me, there's a quote that really just stood out, and it was, research shows that 93% of us don't actually reach our goals. Achieving results is a science, not luck. And here are the secrets of the top 8%. And so let's start off by just having, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but you tell us a little bit about, what are the secrets of the top 8%?
Yeah, sure. No, thank you. There's so many great points that you just brought up, and I want to I'm glad that you did bring up the whole, the woo-woo side of my practice, because it's actually, it's perfect. It's how people see. It's how people have seen me in the past for what I do, and I actually have had success working with high caliber executives of multi-million-dollar companies, and I believe one of my gifts, and I believe what makes me stand out, is my ability to be grounded in the science of how to get results, while at the same time open enough and conscious enough and aware of what else is available to us on the quantum level and part of the universe, right? How to make that woo-woo, bring it into reality so that you can actually tap in to that powerful potential to support us in creating change in our life. And so yeah, I often, and you kind of also talked about what I brought up regarding 92% of us are not actually reaching the goals that we set out to achieve. And as business owners, our whole business success is dependent on, reaching goals. And so what is it about the top 8%? What do they know? What do they have? And like you said, it's not luck. It's not that they were born fortunate, although some might have been, and that might be an influence. But there's so much more to our success than just the daily action steps, although that's certainly a part in it. So actually, if you'd like, I can go into the 5 things that I know the top 8% of people are doing to reach their success. Is that something you'd like to chat about now?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I do have some marketing questions, but
yeah.
I find that it's helpful when people find out a little bit more about what you do and give us some great information on how we can possibly be more successful.
Actually, I chose this topic because I felt that this is tied into how we market. So it's a great segue into your expertise, right? Teaching marketing, helping people get their leads to do business. And so, first of all, when we are, marketing, we have a vision, right? And so being clear on what it is, having clarity of the desired outcome is essential, an essential first step. And I think that, yes, it's an obvious, but not so many people are actually like really grounded in that or clear in their mind of what it is that they're trying to achieve. Sometimes people are just going after like little wins, although that's important to have small wins, but like I think people just try to do what the next step is versus let's take a look at the big picture. What's this bigger theme that I'm trying to attain? And then from there, plan out the ways in which you're going to achieve it. So that's the first, clarity around the desired outcome. Having a strong why, you know, actually what there was a recent Harvard study that talked about the inner game of success. And it said that basically the long and short of it was the people who had a really a dedicated practice to working on their internal mindset and being able to see themselves in that place of success were able to actually reach it far greater than people who were just doing the action steps. Now, it didn't mean that the people who were envisioning didn't have the same action steps. It just meant that there was that added component. So, you know, making sure that, you know, your why is about that bigger, like the inner story of like, all right, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I really committed to this why? Do I believe in this reason why I'm doing what I'm doing? And then the plan of action kind of builds upon that. And again, marketing is the plan of action. It's such an important plan of action. Yeah. And the other piece is having an action, speaking of action, having an action plan to overcome the most common roadblocks in people's lives. The roadblocks of the excuses, the justifications, the attitudes that keep people in their old way of thinking, in their old way of being. And I think it's so important to be able to be able to know yourself, right? And to know yourself in like where are my flaws, where are my setbacks, what are my weaknesses, and what are my plans to overcome those when the next time I feel that like that weakness coming on or that pattern showing up in my life, which brings up the next point. And I think this is where you and I come in. And this is the other important key to a successful outcome, working with someone who can show you the way. That, I believe, is what makes the difference with the top 8%. Having a mentor, having a coach, using someone that who already has a system for success in place that can support you in facilitating the process so that you can reach the desired outcome.
Wow, that's fantastic. And yeah, working with a coach is really interesting. And the other thing I loved about what you were talking about, the inner game that Harvard had researched. I mean, it is an inner game, isn't it? I mean, we are constantly fighting with ourselves to get the results out of ourselves. And sometimes there are just things that you can't get past without some help. And so I love that you talked about that. And certainly in sports, when you're talking about it, I immediately go to sports, especially with all the championships going on right now, football and the Final Four, the Final Two. Second today, I'm going to sound really stupid. It was yesterday.
I know opening game is for Red Sox anyway. I don't know about anybody else.
The final is a big deal. And the Final Two is supposed to be either yesterday or today, I forget. But in any case, and that's those coaches are constantly talking about, you know, mindset and getting in your head right and doing it the right way.
Yes.
That is something people don't think about in business or at work. They constantly think about it for sports, but they don't think about it in their normal day life or their life. So I love.
And you know what I think also, like that was a great point about sports because I often think about that as well. It's the professional athletes who know they wouldn't be where they are without help from a mentor or coach, right? For someone that can help them see their blind sides and then help provide them with solutions and resources and tools and motivation and all of it, And, it's when business professionals fail to see that as an important element to what they need to invest in, and all the, like yourself, you've got these great resources and it comes with you, and so I think that's an essential element in success for business, for sure, and marketing.
Now, what I think a lot of people might be thinking right now is, how did you get into this business? Because, I have to say, for as long as I've known you, just talking to you face to face, which, we were in the same networking group for many, many years together, you just have such a focus and a presence. And I just remember they talk about that about certain great leaders. I remember someone said that about Bill Clinton, for example. I'm not saying anything political about what I believe. I'm just saying I heard this quote from someone saying that when you're in, doesn't matter how many people are in the room with you and Bill, if he was talking to you, you felt like you were the only one in the room. And that's how I feel when I talk to you. And I feel like,
oh, what a great compliment. Thank you.
You and are exactly the same, so not in every way, hopefully. But yeah, so it's wonderful to talk to you. I feel like you really do have a great focus. Number one, did you always have that kind of business? And number two, how do you bring that in what you do now? And how did you get into this? I know that people don't just fall into all this. It's a calling. I've heard that.
Right. No, well, first of all, thank you, and I appreciate that feedback because, sometimes you never see yourself how other people see you. So I think that, it feels good to be seen that way. I actually, I got my focus from being out of focus for so long. I did have, I think it was like an undiagnosed ADD growing up. And I had there was a lot of chaos in my life growing up, so it was hard to be focused. And when I had made the decision to be in this realm, to do healing work, to do coaching work, to do transformational work, it was out of necessity, first of all, for myself. I had to work on healing my issues that I knew were causing me to suffer in life, were causing me to feel ungrounded, didn't know who I was, didn't know what my purpose was in being, I didn't have meaning in life. But like most of us, I desired for feeling that sense of purpose, but it was through my own journey of mastering my emotions, mastering my skills around mindset, attitude, and actions, and how to align all of those things. That I believe is why I'm able to be successful in business. And like you pointed out, that gift of, people matter. When you are with someone in business, it doesn't matter if you have to deal with a client who is just, a civilian, or if you're doing B2B work, and you're dealing with the CEO of a company, or you're dealing internally with colleagues. There is such an important element to those relationships. I believe that our society needs, we desire for those connections. And so it's that knowing that that's what matters most. People matter most. The people that you do business with, not the money. The money doesn't matter the most. The money matters. The money is important. But it's, as Maya Angelou says, people won't remember what you say to them. They'll remember how you made them feel. And so I actually tie into the overall theme of today's subject, the theme about marketing and growing in business. I've recognized that if my overall vision, theme, and desired outcome is to help the masses, to be in greater service, then it is my obligation to actually get really good at the marketing piece, right? It's an obligation. I have to fall in love with the marketing.
You know, you want to use your gifts to help more people, but, you know, you can be the best at what you do. Nobody, I always say this, if nobody knows, then it doesn't matter.
Right, exactly. And then the question that you had was, how did I end up? So as I mentioned, it was through the challenges that I had to heal myself and then ask the important questions. Who am I in this world? What am I bringing into this world, and how do I help? Like, you know, I want to leave the world a better place. And what's my gifts, talents, assets, qualities that I can contribute? You know. And I had what's that?
I know that you will. You really, everywhere you go, you really put yourself into your business more than anyone I've met. And
wow.
Thank
you.
But yeah, so I'm so glad that you brought it. I guess I wanted to ask too. So I want to make sure that I can get to a lot of the salient points here. You've been really working on your marketing for a while, which you just mentioned. What are some of the roadblocks that you've been able to overcome over the past few years since you've been really ramping up that marketing?
Yeah.
I noticed you and I we speak a lot of the same marketing language, and where we were together in that group, most people had no idea what we were doing.
Right. Yes, I know. And that was the wild thing. I'm like, why is this such a secret to business professionals? This shouldn't be a secret to business professionals. This should be common language. And so I saw that as an issue, or, you know, I guess fortunate for me and you, but what people are in need of waking up to what's modern in marketing and how to be successful. All right, so what was the question? I'm sorry. What was the overcame? Yeah. So I think that, well, what's funny is one of my first lessons came in the people pleasing. I was trying to make everybody happy. I was trying to be, you know, neutral so that nobody felt inflamed by me. That was rooted in my own subconscious, that was need for making people happy. And so my first lesson came in recognizing you can't make everybody happy all the time. I'll tell you, you can make the people who are your likeness, like whoever's really drawn to work, whoever's really called to do work with you. If you speak their language, and if you're absolutely, you know, 100% in your power and confident and certain about who you are and what your message is, it will speak to the person that is your desired ideal person that you want to work with anyway. I had one of my first lessons in working with someone. Believe it or not, I manifested an ideal company to work with when I first got in my first business of working as an esthetician, actually. And I had my first day on the job, and I was this eager, young, new, green professional, but I was like just ready and wanting to be, you know, seen as a professional. So I was excited for the job, and I get there, and the first client that I had this was a high-end place that had a lot of international clients, and so I had someone who was from overseas. And long story short, she was not happy with my service. I think she smelled my fear. And I also think that she knew I was trying to make her happy, right? And we didn't have the meshing. You know how sometimes you have clients and you're like, oh my God, I love you. I just want to like hang out with you and hug you. And it's so great to have clients like this. And that's fortunately now what my practice is full of. But back then it was like take anybody that you can get, right? And I think that's the problem as well.
Yeah.
So she left there unhappy, and she complained to my boss, and so my boss came in after, and they were like, we got this really horrible first impression of you. It's like your first client, and they were not happy. They wanted their money back. So I remember I chose to walk home that night because I was sobbing in tears. And the story in my head was, I'm not good enough. I'm not cut out for this. I'm not supposed to be here. Who do I think I am? You know, all of those self-defeating, critical stories that you'd believe when you'd have an epic fail moment. But I went home that night and I sat with it, and I put my son to bed. He was little, and he was a toddler. And he was my why, by the way. I was a single mom. I needed to make money, and I needed that job. So I remember I sat down and I constructed a note, and I gave that note to my boss, and I said, I am committed to this. I'm committed to making this right. I will correct my errors. I will get better, and I promise you I will be the best, esthetician or employee that you've ever had. And then the next day, they got the best report on anyone that they've ever had, and they said, we have a longtime client who said that you were the best, esthetician that they've ever worked with. So, I think that, was a life lesson for me, not to give up when a challenge came your way, and not to believe in the stories that you tell yourself when you feel defeated, but to learn from it. It's like, I think it, was it Bob Ross, the famous painter, who said, like, oh, you know what, there are no mistakes, you just turn them into something else. It's like, oh, happy trees. Just create things that turn your lemons into lemonade type of concept.
Yeah, that's really the sense. I think it happens to a lot of us where you might not start right, but it's something that can happen, and then watch, so I thought was going to happen, and then you really think about it and change it. And there's not much success in there, doesn't fail, so that just what you keep doing, and the faster you get your mindset is just going to make it better. The better you can be, and the faster you get better. That makes sense. So I think that's a great. But I know that you really tested a lot of different marketing tactics, and I like to talk a little. I like to bring up what are the best combination of marketing tactics that you come up with.
Yeah. So for me, I found that my clients were on Facebook, and they also engage through emails. So my best marketing tactics have been using Facebook Live, engaging with the community that I have by sharing value, right? Like giving away value, I found to be my best marketing tactic, because, it's about, again, it's the overall mission that I have in business is to be in service and to help people. So then I need to put my content out there to help people. And then the other piece was my clients are, in fact, opening their emails, and they're engaging, and I love it when my clients end up, or even if they haven't been my client, maybe they're just on my email, in my email community, but they will reply to my email. And I don't send out like newsletter type emails. I personally don't. I know that everybody has their own like niche or practice and what they're interested in. I'm not interested in newsletter type emails. So personally, I don't open them, but I do open personal messages. So my emails are typically like stories. It's like, hey, this is what's going on this week. Or it's like, guess what happened to me? Or it's like, here's a story from a client. So I just like to be, like, again, relationships matter. So it's as if I'm talking to, the people that are opening it directly. And I think they feel that because they respond to that. So, but that's me and how I engage. I think that it's important for people in business to really check in with themselves and ask, well, what's my thing? Maybe the listener here does enjoy reading newsletters, right? And that's their thing, and that's okay.
It reminds me of my
Yeah.
inundated days with that sort of thing. But I do say that I usually more towards the end, the less and less I'm trying to find some new ideas for myself. I know I will be willing to meet or something. But I know somebody who emails every day, and I was like, everyone raving about it. I'm like, oh, good. I did email.
I know.
So I just similar stories. He's hilarious. And I don't know how he put this up to my technical day, but it was a song bought a time, you were putting some on and off, it's just something helpful, like, but I think that's right on me. I really have to be entertaining and keep your audience more obviously selling,
Right.
something for you or whatever. Once in a while, sell a program or something. Yeah, I can see you having discussions about what you do.
Thank you.
So let's see. We will go back to. Okay. So that's good. So you're saying emails and Facebook Live. I also found that Facebook Live is fantastic. You just always have action. And take the level of time to say, it's not the link off. But my regular reading is blog everywhere. But Facebook Live, I has a couple links that will go on. Just going to talk about in just a minute.
Yep.
So that's you guys writing about it and actually live interview, live webinar happening on live streets is really cool. And that invites live to whoever last and so Shawna really said this to your audience now. Not only audience getting it, but our audience as well. Each of our offers are on clickable links on the Facebook Live description. And so that's right. So and I'm always lots of stats right now, so I know better. But it is what it is. It's better than what we're doing. All right. So what I want to do is what's the big thing in your industry? And I mean, I know you see one year ago, you see things change for your clients.
Yeah, that's a great question. The next big thing is about the practical approach to applied neuroscience. And what I mean by that is because in the past, say, decade, technology has been available for us to actually kind of confirm what we've kind of guessed for years, which is mindfulness activates parts of your brain that's related to your genius and creative zones. And that certain words trigger fears or open us up, open people up so that we can connect and move towards something like a program, like a coach or someone in business. So in my world and what I'm studying now is something called Conversational Intelligence, which teaches the neuroscience of conversations so that people can actually get great results, exceptional results by connecting in a way, using conversations, whether it be through email, whether it be through video, whether it be through whatever marketing medium, recognizing that you're having a conversation with your audience. And so are you clear that what you're saying and how you're saying it is causing them to open up and want more, or is it causing them to shut down and put you into that box that says, I don't like this person, they make me uncomfortable, I don't trust them, right? So, so that's the next big thing. And so this is what I'm currently growing in. My area of expertise is leading me down this path to understand neuroscience transformation through conversations and connecting with people.
Well, I think it's fantastic. You're going to do a great job with it. I know we're going to check in another month or so. We'll be a different place with this business. So good. So yeah, what are you going to offer the audience today? Any events or anywhere you want to send them?
Yeah, sure. So what I had a gift for the audience today is something that I created, actually, a series of tools, templates, and tutorials. I'd actually do video tutorials on helping people achieve results. It's called the Envisioneering Formula. And basically, when you click on the link, I think that I gave you a link, Erica, so if you end up tying it into the video somehow, it's called the Envisioneering Formula, which basically, if we look at what an envisionaire is, the word itself is broken down. A visionary is someone who plans for the future, using your imagination and your innate wisdom. It's someone who is an engineer, which means they're the creator of their own life, being the builder, the mastermind, or the architect of their dreams. It's also a pioneer, and that's someone who is, an adventurer, ready to explore and settle into the new terrain of their ultimate potential. And so I designed this process to help people really get clarity of mind and to find definite purpose for achieving their goals in life or in business, so that they can manifest what it is that they desire. So these are simple and really powerful tools and tutorials, and yeah, I'm happy to share that gift with the listeners today.
All right, so that link is actually the Facebook Live description, but also showing our looking at Facebook and showing the audience, but showing on the actual page with the beautiful fountain background, and this is where it was going. So I said, or life, when excellence is an option. Love it. So everybody know their advanced tools that Shawna is offering. I've also put the link seven sizzling video marketing, secret video marketing tactics, how to grow your popularity and credibility with your social media. And I hope everyone soon too. So yeah, this is a great place to know great information and get Shawna your insights and value. I really appreciate that. And I can't say enough. I wish you the best of the future. Love your plans and love everything you shared today. It would be incredibly valuable. And I want to thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for thinking of me. Always a pleasure, Erica. And I said yes because I absolutely feel I have like the same love for you, and I've always admired the way that you present yourself and how you actually show up in your life for what you represent in business, and how you've given put all of your effort and energy into really supporting the people that you work for and with, the clients that you have. You've got so much knowledge. It always amazed me, like you've done a lot of training for me, and listening to you speak, I always learn something, always, every single time. It's great to have you in my life as a mentor, a teacher, and a friend. So it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So this has been your daily campaign, where we connect you needs every single day, social media and video marketing. And you actually create marketing with myself, Shawna today, and just live for experts. So stay have a fantastic day. These will let us know to turn off our lights.
Thanks everybody for coming, and hope to connect with you. Reach out if you're interested in connecting with us.
Absolutely.